sure Reverend and Sheikh will join me, so we'll go have some breakfast. Who knows? They may even serve you and give you a blessing while you're having your breakfast. You know, it's a festive season and all that. And like I just said, our favorite men of the cloth are in the house. We miss them on the show, so it's glad to always have them here. I almost said in the studio, but today we are the forecourt. We are the forecourt. So I'd like to welcome Reverend Dr. Lawrence Sete, who is the president founder of Worldwide Miracle Outreach, and Sheikh Ameri Al-Sabu, who is a spokesperson for the Chief Imam. Good morning, Reverend Sheikh, and you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
You see, the is in white. If you see in the white, I tell you, things are good.
Things are good. Things are good. All is well. All is well. And all is well here, you know, on the event grounds.
We all share in that glory.
With that glory.
Yeah, and giving thanks to God.
Yeah. And thank you for always being a part of this. This is the first time I've ever spoken to them on set. Usually it's behind the scenes. So today the honor is mine. And a lot of topics are making rounds in the headlines, including the fact that President Mahama cut saw for the whole Oxygen City housing project, and then Ghana deploys troops and engineers to support Jamaica's reconstruction efforts after Hurricane Melissa devastated the place, and the virtual SIM card re-registration scheduled for the first quarter of 2026. But we would like to begin with a very sensitive issue, one that's making the rounds in especially after the Asante came back with its mediation report and handed over to the president. Now the Gulf Boko conflict mediation report presented by Otumfuo Osei-Tutu on December 16, 2025, and accepts all findings and recommendations, reaffirming that Naba Asigwe Abogrago Azoka II is a lawful Boko Naba, and directing that rival claimant Alhaji Seidu Abagre be recalled to Nairobi under the guidance of the Nairi. In a statement signed by the spokesperson to the President and Minister for Government Communications, Mr. Felix Kwachu Ofosu, the government has pledged to facilitate a safe relocation and requested Otumfuo's continued leadership in the reconciliation efforts between the Mampusi and Kusasi communities. Acknowledging the severe human, social, and economic impact of the conflict, the President John Mahama announced a 1 billion Boko revitalization fund to be dispersed between 2026 and 2028 for infrastructure, healthcare, education, agriculture, security, and commercial development. And this is more news making the rounds. And gentlemen, this is a very rather sensitive area, and at this point, we would like to hear your views when it comes to this issue.
Robert, you start.
Yeah.
To begin, thank you very much, and good to see you, Sheikh. It's always a delight. Ministry.
Yeah.
Yes. So forgive me.
It's a worldwide miracle outreach.
Yes. And so I've church without walls.
Yeah.
So I have to. So in the past few months, I've been to Singapore, I've been to Australia, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to other parts of the world, and you can imagine what that takes. But
in fact, to restrain him from traveling again, we have agreed. The time we met, we agreed that we will seize it.
Oh, okay, if you take it, then that's
I will take it myself.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Yeah. But I must say, though, that this Boko issue is a very sensitive one. Yeah. I don't envy Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II at all. My heart goes out for him. In situations like this, when you are supposed to be a mediator, definitely you hurt somebody. And I think the essence of this whole mediation is not to get a loser and a winner.
Yeah.
But then Ghana must win. There are a lot of factors that we have to be looking at that are very sensitive. And behind the scene, myself and shapers on both sides. There are professors on both sides. There are great writers and intellectual men and women on both sides. And they even have a role to play. Because when you become very biased in your decision, everything you have within your fiber that makes you through the cell. I tell you, it will not go work with Ghana, Accra. And we lose sight of the fact that it's happening in that part of the world. But whatever tension happening in any minute part of Ghana affects all of us. And we need to be very sensitive. The other side too is that we have to create a balance. And creating the balance is where cool heads are needed. And the truth is that, what are we fighting for anyway? What truly are we fighting for? The people who are creating the confusion are just a handful of people. There are people on both sides who would have preferred that let's sleeping dogs lie.
And let peace prevail.
Peace prevail, and let's move on. And you know, we are depriving the children from that area. We are depriving development from that area. Not in economics, not in politics, not in medical. Nothing really works there. Some of us were even preachers. I don't know about Sheikh's team, but some who are preachers don't want to go and preach there because we are not safe. A friend had to come to his aid when he came back there to go and donate something to the far north. Didn't want to go there. Of course, for security reasons, it's not even wise to go there. So this is also a concern for national security. It's a national security concern. And cool health must prevail. People must not be too insensitive to take an entrenched position that does not help. Something must be done. And so our prayer is Sheikh. Our prayers must go for Otumfuo. And let's not lose sight of the fact that Otumfuo himself is one of the leading kings in Africa who have had a great exposure. I've known Otumfuo far back as the time he was in the UK. I've known him when he came to Ghana. And of course, there's no gainsaying. I have a very good rate of time that I'm supposed to be in Kosovo. I've not been given any of the land. I've only been privileged to get a few kentes from his outfit. But Otumfuo is somebody who has honored me in so many ways. I remember when I held the Asante Man for Christ Crusade. I was told Otumfuo doesn't come out of the palace in his regalia in the evening. After 6 p.m., it's not in regalia. Most of the sub-chiefs spoke to me that he will not come, so we should even get them the details of the program and things. He kept saying, Lawrence, remember. And Sheikh, to my surprise, to our surprise, myself and Richard Robert of our Robert University, fame, we were in the hotel when we were told Otumfuo had set up to Baba Yara Stadium, Kumasi Sports Stadium. Look, if there was any day that I fell in love with somebody genuinely, it was that day. So guess how we went to the stadium? On a motorbike.
Wow.
Yes.
Because you had the hotel.
Our details, car details, our drivers were scarce. We came out, we left our wives. We jumped on motor. So Richard on the motorbike. I was also behind the motor and we went to the bar. And Otumfuo spent the time with us at the Baba Yara Stadium, at the stadium in the evening in his regalia with everybody. Trust me, you will love him. So Nana, our prayers are with you. We are supporting you in every aspect. We respect you. We love you. And we know this task that has been given, wisdom of Solomon that you have. The tenacity, of course, the boldness of David. And also the wisdom that Daniel carried in the days of Bible to handle issues like this. And I know you go through. And please, for those who have not received it, let us begin to reconsider the entire situation and know that what we want is the better rather than creating a divide. Because it's not, you see, it's like a boxing ring. I'm sorry I'm speaking long, but what we are doing is like a boxing ring. Anybody can be hit. Anybody can lose. And if we don't handle it well today, it's not just about President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo or President John Dramani Mahama.
It's the whole Ghana.
It's the whole land. And so please, let's cool heads prevail. And those of you who have the privilege and opportunity to get this resolved, don't be unwise. And remember, posterity, and this is a stern warning to all of us, posterity will judge all of us if we dare not handle this situation well.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Sheikh.
I mean, from the wise presentation of Reverend, I mean, what else can one say? The Boko conflict has been very intractable, and downs sometimes gives one an impression that there's no end to it. In the process, we can see the impact of the conflict, infrastructure destruction, elimination of opportunities that people, children can't go to school, hospitals close down.
People being posted there also don't want to go. And
people are being rejected. See, that even is even worrying. A certain mindset is being created that the place is not a safe place to work. And I think it is not good for the image of the place. We need to commend Otumfuo for the recognition that he has earned from the previous government. The previous president had to rush in rather to also endorse It's been very, very bold, very open, to the point that he was able to present the report. Like Reverend said, you see, in the cacophony of the noise around, sometimes you need very cool heads to be able to douse down the tension, engage in a long, deep reflection about what holds this thing. And that's why those who are the academics from both sides in Boko, the academics, the professors, the professionals, especially the legal luminaries from both sides. And we have very, 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 very high-placed legal luminaries that have, descended from that place. The benefit of knowledge is that you use it in solving a problem.
Okay.
So
let me write that down.
They should look at what it means to them, the knowledge that they have acquired, and how beneficial it can be for their place of origin, their place of pride. But I have my side also coming from the north, so I'm one of them. Yeah. So it affects me, and I sit down, I reflect deeply. So you see, at one point, one should be able to sit to tell to himself, to what extent can I go further with this thing? Can I give peace a chance? Can I bring this thing to a close? But it takes moral courage to be able to do so. And I think that's what we need to encourage all those who are affected. And like Reverend said, we are all affected. You see, the case of Boko is like the full human person.
Oh.
As part of our nation, Boko is like one part of our side.
Yeah.
You lie down on the bed. This side is cool, but this one is on fire.
Yeah. If you're not careful.
So one side of your body is on fire.
Yeah.
So how can you have your peace? This side of your body is healthy, but this one is burning.
It's not that far away. Yeah.
We are hurting. We are hurting so much because of what it means for our country, and the President, His Excellency, put it right. When that place becomes volatile, we are all confronted with these terrorist activities that's hovering around. Yeah. In fact, Ghana is the only country that they have not been able to enter. Yeah. Yeah. It's not convenient. Yeah. It's not convenient. But if you create a convenient environment for them, and that's why the President is so much concerned that if we're able to solve Boko, about 90% of our security challenges will be dealt with. So, my brothers and sisters who are there, just like Otumfuo has indicated, what he did was a mediation. He did not intend to impose anything on anybody. There's no, and then he also decided to be as open as possible in his presentation. He didn't want to hide anything. Indeed, even to save the president, he said he didn't want the president to read, to be the one who knows what the report contains, so that people might attribute it to him. So he said he will read it himself, and he will read totally the entire content.
So people know where it's coming from.
People know where it is coming from. So for me, that courage and that signal he gave is also pointed to the fact that there are some of our, like one of the elders of the community whose name was mentioned by Otumfuo, cautioning him. The matter is so sensitive, so you are even careful not to mention people's name and so on, and that you don't deride them also. But that we know what, today you write, another person responds, rise again, tension begins to escalate, and until we see what we don't want to see. So,
but
I'm happy the president has also, earmarked. Is that about 1 billion?
1 billion, yes.
1 billion
to be rolled out 2026
to
2028.
To do with the recovery aspect of it. Because this one is, the mediation has been done. We still have issues, but that the recovery is important.
The economic recovery, everything.
People have hurt. There's a way to really, bring them back to the reality. Sometimes you do even memorialize people who have suffered, so that people in future will learn the lessons. Some of the things that we put in place, certain statutes or certain symbols that we build at the place. Young people who are going on, this was put here because of the day when we were able to seal this, and they draw inspiration for it. So let's pray. Like Reverend said, we'll keep on praying and keep on the engagement. I'm on the Peace Council, so still it is with us. We want to explore avenues for continuous engagement to see how finally we will bring this issue
to a close. Yeah, because when you were speaking just before you ended, you mentioned the fact that one person will write, another person will write, and it's interesting you said that, because just yesterday as well, the Mamprogo Traditional Council formally rejects reported mediation reports and any attempt at government enforcement of the so-called recommendations. So they released a statement. They formally rejected what Otumfuo, and they cited a number of reasons, including the fact that the purported reports and recommendations in question procedurally flawed and constitutionally impermissible. And Otumfuo especially described his role as that of a mediator and not an arbitrator. Notwithstanding this, the document proposed to pass judgment and to prescribe measures for enforcement, acts wholly inconsistent with the nature, limits, and essence of mediation. The status, many reasons, even number 20 says, I will not remain passive in the face of what appears to be a carefully orchestrated process conceived long before the commencement of mediation and designed to prejudice Mamprogo. He cites a number of reasons, and this was signed, the thumbprint, His Royal Majesty, the Nairobi, yes, and so that was their statement, saying they formally reject the mediation report.
You know, there's something called the pressure of the people. When you're a leader, leaders make statements sometimes that are not coming from them. Okay. The people who surround them can make or make them. And if we don't take care, there are people who can be pushing the Nairi to take this stand in a very strong place that can be varied.
Like an entrenched position, like
we
you
should
said.
not be so entrenched on it. I think the reconciliation is very important. And so we need to get a point of convergence at some stage. And this point of convergence means Sheikh and Rev and you coming together and we're looking at a common place where we can all let go a little. I mean, we've seen that many times done in the Mediterranean areas, where sometimes even lands are shifted a little. When people can come to that place where they know that we want peace, and peace must be a consensual effort. You cannot look for peace and have your voice only heard. Yeah. You should be able to let go something. And so still, I think the Nairi, I'm pleading that he should be in council with his people still and see how we can still create a solution. Every one of them should know that whatever happens there is affecting us now here. The resource that is being sent is 1 billion.
1 billion. Yeah.
How much do we have in our coffers? So if 1 billion, we have how many regions in Ghana?
16. Yeah.
16. So assuming we are spreading 1 billion each for every region, and Boko alone is taking 1 billion. That means that even our resources, our economic strength, our human resource, and anything we have is going there. Our concentration, our national security, there are a lot of soldiers and police and security personnel that have been deployed to that area that could have been used in other areas. We should take all this into consideration so that we don't also become excessively entrenched. And I think that is my problem. But cool heads must be free. The other thing that I think we should not lose sight of is the God factor.
Okay.
And I say that sensitively. Those who are Muslims should pray to call on Allah. And those who are Christians should call on Christ. And let us come together and do some prayer. Because, righteousness exalts a nation. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. If prayer can be said there, hearts will be cool. There's a quotation in the Bible that says, the heart of the king is in the hands of the Lord.
Okay.
What did I say?
The hands of the...
Not the hands.
Sorry. The heart of the king is in the hands of God.
The hands of the God. If the king's heart gets into the hands of God and is meek and humbled enough, then we will get it done. There's a scripture that, also, I don't know why I'm preaching. I feel like preaching, brother.
You're in the mood.
you know, Second Chronicles, and every politician have used that passage, but I don't think the politicians they understand it better. Second Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. I know you all know it very well. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, number one, humility, and pray. A prayerless nation is a powerless nation. A prayerless people are a powerless people. A prayerless community is certainly a powerless community. What is happening in Boko is simply put, we are not praying. And then say, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, number one, pray, number two, three, seek my face. A lot of people are taking decisions because who want to hear their own voice. Some lawyers want to take advantage. Some intellectuals want to take advantage. Some people who on a normal side would have not even had any name, who are using this thing to also be known and be noticed. And you'll be surprised the investigation. And the last thing they said is that if they would turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sins, and heal the land. We want Boko to be healed. And man of God, I hold hands with you, and we agree as men of God that God touches the heart of individuals in Boko. God touches the individuals who are not allowing this peace to take place. Those who are influencing the leaders, who are urging them on to not relax, that God will touch their heart, that peace will prevail in Boko. Amen.
Amen. Sheikh, so for instance, reading the letter, the press release, you realize that the position of the Mamprosis is that the move to use security to escort the Nari chief to Boko defeats what the mediation is.
I mean, yeah, that is the position of the security reasons in the government's, estimation. To have two rival kings in one area means will spell, some doom, create tension, conflict will arise again. So in the wisdom of the president, probably if he has to be moved and to be given an alternative role to play, it comes like a recommendation or an advice to the Nairi that, yes, I mean, we don't fault you, but you've already appointed him. By giving the reality surrounding us,
we still need some
level of peace.
Protection.
So we want to recommend to you that you call him back and reassign him with a new role. That is the position of the government. It is well intended. Like I said, it's well intended. Once there's rivalry, two claimants, to skin.
Yeah.
And then once both of them are present in the area, just during the time of any season, any festival, tension rises. And we've seen all over the place how the guns have been sounding, how people are being killed, how people are running away, maiming and killing of people. So the government has a duty to ensure there's peace in every part of the country. I think it's in that sense that the government gives that recommendation. Our wish is that the Nairi will reflect. There is still hope for engagement.
Okay.
There's still hope for engagement. What this gives us an opportunity, what will help us is that instead of using the gun, instead of using the club and kill, we say a certain process has been put in place. So can we all commit ourselves to that process? Yeah, it may not end today, it may not end tomorrow, but the fact is that we know certain process has been initiated, and we are trying hard to see how we can get to the end of it. I think so. For me, this one gives us a certain hope that we can still continue. Even when the Otumfuo spoke, he said we'll continue.
The process is not ended.
Bring the whole thing to an end.
There's still a chance to.
Exactly.
Because there's some make the argument that looking at how far that's he can stay in Boko as a civilian. They also have a problem with that.
I mean, it's all part of the things to consider. The context is that you cannot have two rival kings in the area. So once the government has endorsed the legal position, it means that one has been recognized against the other. Okay. So in that case, the other one who has not been recognized must be called back and then reassigned. That is the position of the government. The intention is to make sure that peace prevails and there is harmony. But the Nairi has rejected this. So what it means is that we still must be engaging. Yes, I mean, he also, has expressed what is inside him, the wish of his people, so we cannot fault him for that. But that the door is open for continuous engagement. Probably in the next months or a full year, as we keep on engaging, we might reach a point where a certain understanding can prevail. And probably the government's position may be understood. If they have also certain demands to make, probably they could put on table those demands, and those demands are worthy of consideration. So it's a kind of moving here and there.
But at least progress is being made.
Progress here and there. So the problem has not ended. In the way that I see it. Like the Otunfo said, this is only one leg of it. The other leg is going to continue. So it means that we have not finally solved the whole entirety of the problem.
But it's a step in the right direction with the mediation report.
So it's not strange that we are hearing these things. It's not strange.
Okay.
But it's all part of the process.
Okay.
In fact, I was going to say that the Sheikh you just hit now. Yes. We cannot fault the Nahiri.
Yes.
That is the way he feels.
Yes.
I rather he speaks out, but he doesn't say anything about that. Is dangerous.
Yeah.
That's very dangerous. So now at least we know what he feels, his standpoint, and then when we are tackling it, we'll handle it from that point of view.
It's a delicate thing. So
if we do not, and sentiment is like you handling a marital issue, and one of the spouse decide not to speak. And as a pastor or as leaders, we do that. You sit with them, and one is not speaking. That's the most dangerous part.
Yeah, because what are they thinking?
If nobody speaks. So then Nahiri, I've read some comments, and I beg to differ that yes, he has a right to also vent the way he feels. We shouldn't let it feel like, no, you don't have the right to do. I don't even think that is a stand His Excellency President John Mahama is taking it, or the stand Otunfo to the second is taking it. I think by now they also will know that when they are engaging him, they'll be finding out from him which is the areas that you are not comfortable with, and how do we draw that point of convergence. And I keep saying that this whole essence is to draw a point of convergence where we can now come together to solve the problem. So we shouldn't also let it sound like some of the headlines I'm reading and some of the comments I read, I think that, please, let's be sensitive.
Yeah.
And especially those of you in the media space, we should be wise. We should be wise and see the sensitivity of what we are handling. The fact that you can write with your pen and speak doesn't mean you have the right to say anything that you don't even understand. There are people who are giving commentaries on this issue that are rather escalating the situation. Let us respect the dignity of all the factions and know that what we want is mediation. That is not going to give somebody a win or somebody a lose, but a win for all of us. In Nahiri, my prayers goes with him too. But I know by now he's also under pressure. His people are consulting with him, sitting with him in council. He is their mouthpiece.
It's not easy.
He cannot sit down and go, and trust me, in that part of the world, in the north, Sheikh's people, my brothers, if you don't support a decision, your people will deal with you. I remember when we used to play, I grew up in North Connection. We used to play soccer with the Fadama people, Sheikh's people. And if there is a goal, Pastor Turox is laughing. And you, one of the team members, you decide to stop it, the people will come up to you.
You take his ball and put it in another tablet.
So they were using my ball. My father bought me a ball. They were using it to play. Then they did the selection, and I was not in the selection because I was the youngest among them.
We are the owner of the ball.
So I put it under my armpit. Then I too say I should let him play small. I said, no, I would not agree. But my brothers from the north, from the Fadama, if one take a decision and you don't support them, they come against you. It's
Yeah.
God's own, for want of a better word, it's God calls to be able to make a decision, and that's why he's making that decision. So it is good.
But it's important that
It's good.
we don't pass judgment on the naive. It's important. You see, like we were saying, it's a process. Otumfuo has done his bit. Definitely there will be a response. And so the Nairi has given his response. And what we need to do is to try hard and elicit from him what are the other considerations that he wants to put on board, that together, as we keep on dialoguing, we'll be able to satisfy some of the concerns that he has and be able to really bring the conflict to its final solution. Okay? So I think that all commentators must be very, very careful. But from both sides, there's no victor, there's no loser. And all of us must be intentional in our search for peace. The Quran reference to it, in fact, when husband and wife are in contention, to a point, from the side of the wife and another from the side of the man. But he gives a caveat. If both of them indeed desire reconciliation, if both in their hearts desire reconciliation. In other words, I as an arbiter, he as an arbiter, from the wife's side, from the husband's side, and we are one in our mind, that myself and Reverend, our intention, for example, there's a certain issue between a Christian and a Muslim, and myself and him are those who are in mediation, will help us in solving the problem. Okay. So the state of the heart and the mind in dealing with this matter, from both sides, for those who are making the comments, you have to make a comment intended, one, to douse down the tension, two, does it prefer any way by which, whether in the immediate circumstance or in the future, we can see the solution to the problem. Okay. And that's how I insist. Our professionals, legal luminaries, professors, and all those must use their knowledge as given to them by God as a means to solve a problem, but not to further make it an intricate thing, not to further, worsen the situation. The situation. So we call on all of them. I add my voice to that of Reverend. Call all of them. We've heard some of them are talking. Your commentaries must be geared towards final solution.
The Rotary, I was trying to read the Rotary test, 4-way test. It said the Rotary 4-way test is a simple ethical framework for evaluating thoughts, words, and action. Asking 4 key questions. A very good friend, Auntie Doreen, she likes it so much. Said, number 1, is it the truth?
Yes.
Number 2, and number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Let me repeat it again. 4. Number 1, is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair friendships? And number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? I'm not a member of the Rotary Club, but I think today...
What I'm saying is that, you see, the luminaries who are speaking, the academics, most of them have their buildings, residences in Accra here.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Look, and I tell them that these are all my brothers. None of them will have the courage to build over there and leave the gate of his home open all the time. None of them. Under the current circumstance, from both sides, you cannot build a beautiful home over there and let the gate open, because you cannot trust whoever enters there to attack you. Because there's so much hate, so much bitterness. So it doesn't serve the interest of anybody. It doesn't serve the interest of anybody. Whether you are from Mamprisi or Kusasi, God has endowed you with knowledge, what to be able to communicate, change minds, and so on and so forth. But you are further deepening the strife
Yeah.
It doesn't help. And
Sheikh,
that's why
the commentary here is interesting.
Yes.
So the 4 questions have come. Rotary people, you should be congratulating me this one for you. He said, is it the truth? The comment there is that encourages honesty and integrity in all. He said it focuses on actions that foster positive connections and understanding. And the 4th one says, will it be beneficial to all concerned? He said it ensures decisions, brings positive outcomes for all. Of course, this is in honor of Herbert J. Taylor, who developed it in 1932 to revive the failing Club Aluminium Company, applying to all business decisions, and it saved the community even as far back as 1932 to
And it's like it's still relevant in this time, all those 4 particular lessons. And when it comes to this dedicated and sensitive issue, I thank you for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. If you're just joining us, we are having the headlines on GTV Breakfast. We are the GBC forecourt, where it's all about the Lighting Home Decor Festival. We are about that, you know what I'm saying? And there'll be activities happening, like we like to call them. We just may touch on the sensitive issue of what's happening in Boku and the Otumfuo's mediation report and how government has accepted it. And now we move on to the fact that Ghana has deployed troops and engineers to Jamaica to support the country's recovery from one of the most devastating hurricanes in recent Caribbean history. The president-led government and military officials in a solemn farewell ceremony for Ghana's contingent from the 48th Engineer Regiment of the Ghana Armed Forces, comprising 45 soldiers and 8 officers. Yes. Reverend, let me begin with you on this.
I must say, I have been emotionally affected. A World Convention in Jamaica, and it was just around the time that the program, the hurricane took place, and because of that, the over 5,000 ministers across the world that were coming to Jamaica had to be cancelled. Some had even gone down already. My good friend Bishop Llewellyn Graham and his wife Susan Graham, that you know very well, that came here, they had gone ahead to prepare my team. I was going with a team of about 50 people. We've bought tickets, we've made reservations. As I told Roxy, it's very sad now because that was the first time I was going to go to the Caribbean. I was sponsoring some of them to go with them, and then all of a sudden, this is struck. But I'm happy that we are going to help them. Don't forget that without missing it well, over 70% of Jamaicans originally come from our soil. You have to go to Kingston, Jamaica, or some of their sugarcane farms to see the backside of the lady, the chest of the lady, the head of the lady. I'm a Ghana boy. You can just tell that Sisiwedie, Efri Krum. Hair ni ya, cash awoleke yo na kene le wono eku. 100 people that left. It's still worth it. It also makes us show solidarity. These are the people that, if we say the year of their return and they are coming home, these are the people that will be coming back home. When you see them, you can just tell these are one of us. And so helping them is good. And some of them too are financially blessed. So when they come back home, it increases our revenues, and of course, it helps with our economic structure. So I'm happy we're able to do it, and then also bring the solidarity. There's been a lot of African-Caribbean divide. I studied in Europe. I studied in Budapest University of Economic Sciences, and also came to London School of Economics. And I can tell you that sometimes the tension between the Caribbeans and the Africans is needless.
Yeah, we are one people.
We are one people. The history that was written for us has been distorted. And so every now and then, we need situations like this to show our solidarity. And I'm very happy. I commend His Excellency President John Mahama to have done that.
Right.
That is a statement, it's on record.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. I'm going to Jamaica in about 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
See, so I'm going to Jamaica, and I'm going with my shoulders
Sheikh
up.
has anything to do with it, I'm not sure you go because he sees your passport.
I've let the cat out.
No,
He asked me if I'll be traveling. I said,
you support your case.
Yes.
But, you know, human disasters and these misfortunes, they have no nationality.
Yeah. It can happen to anyone.
They have no nationality. They have no religion. They have no identity. And this one is a national disaster, hurricane. You know, it's been happening across. Sometimes bushfires, and you see how people are suffering floods.
A landslide.
You know, landslides,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. And see the number of people who have been affected. So sometimes the heart is what goes out to say your, widow's mind, the little that you can do also to send relief. Time when every Wednesday we went there to learn how to sing some of the hymns.
So Shakes, he preached better than me.
No.
On my birthday, I remember some time ago, during my sister's birthday, a Sheikh finished preaching, and people were wondering whether he was a preacher.
This hymn, rescue the perishing,
Yes.
care for the dying.
Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus
remember
is
it?
merciful.
Oh, but I can't remember the words, but-
Jesus will save.
But I
Okay.
think this, because of the
Rescue the
relevance,
perishing.
because it touches my heart.
Yes.
Because rescue
The
the
perishing.
perishing and care for the dying.
Jesus is merciful.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. So,
Jesus will save.
So it's commendable that we also show concern for what is happening to some people in other parts of the world. So, but I've heard some parliamentarians, they're sitting parliamentary procedures,
yes.
probably didn't get that.
The minority had a problem with it. Yes.
But I think sometimes you can go beyond the rule and look at the human dimensions of the issue and say, look, because the relief has no timetable and you cannot wait. The person needs life. He needs water to drink. He needs food to eat. And you are saying that you want to wait until next 2 months before you send the food to him or her. So this has to do with human needs. And that's why we can use the wisdom of our faith and our human feelings and sometimes go beyond these matters of procedures and say, look, because some people are dying, we just want to reach there. And then after that, we can look at the matters of the procedures.
And Sheikh, let me say this, even before you go into that. There's been a lot of support from Jamaica to Ghana over the years. I can say that to you on authority. People like Rita Marley and co all lives in Ghana. Bob Marley's wife lives in Aburi. I can Akropong area. My wife comes from that area.
Yeah.
There are nice buildings that have been put there. In fact, a lot of Ghanaians even developed interest in those areas after the Jamaicans had come. Besides that, a lot of Jamaicans who are tracing back their heritage to Ghana, we lost God.
Oh, really?
Ghanaians lost God big time. When we started bringing the TD Jakes and the Mans Moros and the other guys here, when they check the DNA, they are 70, 90% Ghana. All of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Nigerians became very fast. We want to check, God, 99%. So someone like TD Jakes initially came to Dodowa, came to Kodiabe. In fact, my big brother, Swapolo, then Kingsley Fletcher, so Swapolo is even a member of Council of State now. All of them and Eric Kwapon and our friends, we all went together with them to Kodiabe and Dodowa and things. We put it together. All of a sudden, TD Jakes says he's a Nigerian now. Then he went to do the DNA again, and it was almost 90% Nigeria. And you can imagine the amount of money that is being invested.
Put over there.
So,
God,
for me, what we've done now is a very wise thing. For those of us who have lived in the diaspora, we know our brothers from the Caribbean want sense of belonging. They want to be connected somewhere. I have a lot of Caribbean friends here in this country that came because of me. That came because of the way I sold Ghana. And so we taking soldiers to that part of the world is a very good indication. And there are many of them that we truly need for the collaboration. I would beg my parliamentarians that as much as we want to politicize everything, we should be careful not to throw the baby and the bad water away. Otherwise, we end up losing the very thing that can benefit us too. Tomorrow, when the parliamentary subcommittee is traveling, it's not just NDC people that will travel. NPP people, and even independent candidates will also be traveling with them to Jamaica. Let's do something. I'm going there in the coming weeks, and I'm happy that Sheikh will give me the permission to travel to Jamaica.
In fact, for this one, I'll allow you to go.
But Sheikh, you know, and it's not necessary at this time. It's uncalled for.
No. You see, like I said, the agency of the circumstance is what we are talking about. No, we are talking about a human disaster. We're talking about the disaster. Yeah. After the coup, once the place is stabilized, I'm sure that one is just close to us here. I mean, they can come.
They can come.
Because also, they need
Sorry,
in
there's
the interest.
an ant here. I'm not take chances.
Yes, like I said, we are the forecourt, so anything can happen.
So the interest of the sub-regional organizations,
yes.
You know, there's solidarity that we have created. It's a network of nations within the sub-region. So what affects one nation affects the other nation. So therefore, and we want to deepen our democracy. And so it's one way by which we want to protect and preserve our flourishing democracy within the sub-region. So it also makes sense. This one is a circumstance that requires urgent support.
Yeah.
Because human beings are in a state of suffering. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying that obviates, you know, from the rule. For every rule, there's an exception.
Yeah.
So this is why I want our parliament to use the wisdom and our human feelings. You know, both sides should come together and agree that given this, under the circumstance, we can allow this to go. But that after that, are there checks and balances that will ensure that this will not always become the routine, because we also must have rules and regulations that guides the way we do our things, so that we don't become arbitrary in the way we do it. So that's why the parliament is there. And I think that it is good that we have a parliament. And it's good that some of these issues are raised. But when they are raised, we can see their merit, but that we can also look at the urgency of the matter that we are trying to deal with. Yeah, so I will still plead with the minority to side with the president and allow the team to go. I'm sure they will not remain there forever, and they will come back home. And we don't know. We don't pray that any disaster strikes us in Ghana here. We don't pray. And we are thankful to God. Chief Mam has been talking to us that he has observed that whatever disaster strikes in other part of the world, when it comes to Ghana, at the very least, you know, it doesn't strike us so hard. And probably, you know, God loves us a lot.
God is merciful and He's kind.
What gives His love? You share the love with
other people. You can't keep it to yourself alone.
So you stretch the hand, you know, like when there is a disaster and the whole building crumbles down. And you find somebody's hand in the rubble. Is there anybody here?
There's another one here. These things, they like to
come, my friends.
Yes.
You know, like somebody raises his hand under a rubble. Will you, if you have a human feeling, would you say, no, Obiandi Lim? I mean, you will say, Obiandi Lim. If you have a human feeling, you might want to do something about it, even if it means just carrying a block, you know, somewhere off the weight, so that the person will also survive. I think that is the circumstance in which we are. And so let's commend the president and encourage that we really get our soldiers to go.
Contingency approach.
Contingency approach? Okay.
Very important. You know, the sub-region has a lot of security issues now. And like Sheikh rightly said, we shouldn't think it's happening there and it cannot happen here. It's just by the grace of God that we seem to be making headway. But assuming that happened to us, would we be needing aid and support? ECOWAS is bleeding. There are a lot of very delicate and sensitive security issues that are happening. In any case, I commend and congratulate President John Dramani Mahama for being appointed
the next president,
AU chair. I'm happy for him. You know, Sheikh, I think there's some perfume in you that is attracting. Next time, give me that perfume.
I think it's a cue for us to just go and have breakfast or something, because at this point, maybe it's like the conversation is over. This all time will allow us. So,
please, let me, before you go there, 31st December, I'm holding a very big watch night service at the Kwame Nkrumah Dubai Opera Sports. And people can come from all walks of life. Ours is not a church, it's church without walls. So those of you who are not going to your churches, please come and let's cross over together. It's also be a proper blessing, and we'll be having communion. I want us to have communion. Normally we'll be saying anointing service and things, we'll have communion, and I'll have a gift for everybody. The last time I went to Israel, I bought about 10,000 pieces of white handkerchiefs.
You know what?
I want to give it out free.
We'll all be there.
So 31st December is going to be an all-national white, and also be giving everybody a communion service. We are going to go into this new year in a very special way.
Very fortified. Yes. Very fortified. Sheikh, do you also have something to say, or we can go have our
final words? I would still want to plead with my own kind, Kith and King. But my silence the gun. Yeah. Let's not see further killing, further shooting. With our mouth and dialogue, we should be able to overcome this. And that's my plea to all of them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Thank you so much, Sheikh. It's always enlightening speaking to the both of you. I've been hearing you speak. So this time I'm hearing you, and I'm actually listening, and I'm hosting you as well. So at this point, I would like to invite you for breakfast. They are right behind us. We're going to ask them what they have on offer. But the headlines is over. There's a lot more coming up. Maybe you follow us to have breakfast. Who knows? We'll be back after these messages. Yes. Thank you.
We are finished?
Yes. Oh. Yes. Let's go have some breakfast.
All right.